Detectives in Manatee County are working to find answers after a body believed to be that of a missing teen was found Friday.
18-year-old Giovanni Pelletier was last seen alive August 1st. His family says his body was discovered in a retention pond near the off-ramp to I-75 South and State Road 70. News Channel 8's Manatee County Bureau reporter Allison Henning is at the Sheriff's Office with the latest on this investigation.
The developing news on this Saturday, as Manatee County Sheriff's Office says evidence shows the body found in a pond in Bradenton yesterday is that of 18-year-old Giovanni Pelletier. This was the teen who went missing while on vacation here last week. ABC Action News reporter Annette Gutierrez is here with the latest. A missing person case has turned into a death investigation. Giovanni's family made a post confirming the body found yesterday is him. And so did this group, We Are the Essentials. You can see their Facebook post has thousands of views, with many people wanting to know the update on this missing teen. And again, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is calling this a preliminary identification of Giovanni, saying there's enough evidence on scene that leads investigators to believe the body found yesterday is him. But they were waiting on an autopsy to confirm this, which is scheduled to happen tomorrow.
Welcome back to Fugitive TV. I am your host, Ray Marcel. AKA Kaseblazeit, and on this channel what we do is we break down cases, we break down fugitives, we break down almost anything criminal activity, because why? I have a lot of experience on it. I did time. I was also on the run for 15 years, living under different names in different countries, and while I was on the run I actually opened up businesses, which I still have, turned myself in. But today what we're going to talk about is we're going to get into Giovanni again. The last video I pretty much broke down the basics of what happened, how we got here, who we left with, and gave you a little bit of bits of information that the media was not giving us. Like I showed you at the end of my video, I showed you another video of a FaceTime of the family on the dad's side, pretty much admitting to what happened that the news media is not showing us. I also gave y'all information of the names of the people who was in the car. I gave you guys a lot of info. Now, what I'm going to do today is give you guys some more info, including some updated info of maybe who was in the car. Also, his father, his uncle on the dad's side, a lot of stuff. But the first thing I'm going to tell y'all is, we all know they found his body. Now, Gio's family wants everybody to know, the family on the mom's side of it, is that the police did not find the body. They didn't find the body. You know who found his body? It was a good family member of his mother.
According to the family, the body of Giovanni Pelletier was found by his mother's best friend. He happened to be in Florida to support her because her mom recently had a stroke.
That found the body, or I should say a good friend of his mother that found Gio. Now, right now, they're signing a petition because they want enough signatures to force the FBI to take this case and investigate. I don't blame them, because the cops down here saying they don't know what they're doing or don't want to. Now, some people are asking, why didn't the FBI come down here to begin with and take on this case? And some people are saying, well, you know, it was just a missing person. He wasn't a kid. He was 18 years old. Why the FBI going to take it on? Well, my feedback to that is, do y'all remember the case about Gabby Paterno or Petito, whatever her name was? Y'all remember her?
Right here. This is what matters. That is it. Anything else, it comes second to this.
This morning, the desperate father of Gabby Petito appealing to the country for help as authorities struggle to find her. The 22-year-old cell phone could be a key source of information.
Why is it so difficult to find her, especially if she had a cell phone?
How long did she have the cell phone? When did she have it? All of those things need to be solidified.
Have you found her cell phone?
We have not.
Gabby's mom says she last spoke to her daughter in late August when Gabby was in Wyoming's Grand Teton National Park. Although police say the potential search area stretches all the way to Florida, where her fiance, Brian Laundrie, returned home on September 1st without Gabby.
Part of our investigation is the potential that something criminal did happen.
She left Florida around the same area of like Bradenton, Sarasota, around that same area. They left Florida. They packed up a ready makeshift camper, RV, and went across country camping pretty much in this RV. And there was that viral video of the cops pulling them over in Utah, I think it was. And then after that viral video, you didn't hear from them again. And then all of a sudden, Gabby's boyfriend showed up back here in Florida without her and was like she left and was missing. They didn't know if she was dead or anything like that. But what happened?
Police name her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, a person of interest. Her family rails on Brian in a new statement saying, Brian left Gabby in the wilderness with grizzly bears and wolves while he sits in the comfort of his home. More of that statement shortly. Gabby's mom says the last heard from her 3 weeks ago today, while the couple was, as they put it, living the van life on a cross-country road trip. Just today, we learned that days before Gabby stopped communicating with her mom, a witness called police to investigate a possible domestic problem between her boyfriend and her. August 13th it was, in front of a store in Moab, Utah, the Moonflower Community Cooperative. A witness, along with Gabby and Brian, told an officer a similar story. Gabby and Brian were having an argument. Brian told Gabby to go take a walk and calm down. She didn't want to and started slapping him. So he grabbed her face and pushed her back. He tried to lock her out of their van, but she managed to climb in through the driver's window.
Y'all remember what happened? The FBI got on that case almost from day one and started looking for her, and they found her. They found her. So why didn't the FBI get on this case, start looking for him? Is what Gio's family wants to know. On the mom's side, that is. Because on the dad's side, it's almost like they're not caring. I don't know. But on the mom's side, they're like, why didn't it come? I got questions for that too. Why they won't go look for her, but they didn't look for Gio? It's because Gabby was a white girl, blonde hair, blue eyes. Now, my condolences go out. Nobody deserves to go out and, pass away and die and all. Nobody deserves that. But let's not be ignorant here. And let's just look at how it is. They went out and looked for her, but they didn't look for Gio. And if y'all remember, when Gabby's boyfriend came back, he went missing too. Do you remember he went missing?
New development now in the search for the missing woman, Gabby Petito. Wyoming police believe that they have found a body matching her description.
As Anita Vogel explains, her fiance is also missing, as an autopsy is now scheduled for tomorrow. A gentle glow of candles illuminating faces of concerned community members at Sunday night's vigil for Gabby Petito.
We just want to support her because it could have been any of our kids.
The event taking place shortly after remains believed to match a description of the missing 22-year-old were found in Wyoming.
We ask everyone maintain distance from law enforcement personnel and equipment, vehicles, and related activity for their own safety, as well as to protect the integrity of our work.
An autopsy for the body is scheduled for Tuesday. Petito and her fiancé, 23-year-old Brian Laundrie, were on a cross-country road trip. This chilling footage captured days before she went missing.
And they couldn't find him. It was like days they couldn't find him. It was raining and storming down here, and they were like, had to halt the search, all kind of stuff. And, the police didn't find him either. I believe it was a friend of the family that found him down here. So is it because the cops down here don't know what they're doing?
We're taking a live look from Northport, Florida, outside of the Laundrie home. Chris and Roberta Laundrie allegedly inside of the home. New details tonight. The FBI field office in Denver confirming that the human remains found just yesterday on the Myakkahatchee Trail and Park are those of Brian Laundrie, according to some of those dental records. To give a little more detail, they say a comparison of dental records confirms that the human remains are, in fact, Brian Laundrie.
Because it was around the same counties. Now you have Sarasota, Bradenton, Parrish. You keep going down to Inglewood. Now there is like different counties. I don't remember what county was looking for him. I don't. But they're very close to each other. And they didn't find him either. So I just find it a little weird, a little odd. Now, they found Gio, right? They still don't know what happened to him. Now, they found him at a retention pond off of I-75 in Bradenton. I know exactly where they found him at. And I'm going to show you on this map. I know exactly where they found him at. Why? Because I travel that all the time. If you guys don't know, I have a DJ business, so I'm always going out to Miami DJing in the clubs because the clubs out there don't close, like I mentioned in my last video. So I'm always going down there. You take I-75, you go through Bradenton, you go through Sarasota, you go through Inglewood, you go through Fort Myers, you make the curve in the Alligator Alley, and then you keep going, and then it's going to turn after you leave into 575, and then you could take that to I-95 and pretty much hit Miami. But it's I-75 all the way to South Florida. So I pass by there all the time. So I know exactly where that's at. Hopefully in the next couple of days, I can spend the time to actually go on I-75, film it, show you guys that's never been down here, and go to the retention pond if they don't have it blocked off. But we'll see. But it's very odd. And I'm still finding it odd about the time of 1 o'clock in the morning they picked him up from. Now, I gave you guys the 3 names in the last video of supposedly, remember, the cousins. Here's another thing that's odd and they're not giving us a lot of information on, which is, I don't know. So supposedly now there's only two people in the car that were cousins, and the other one was a friend. Now, there's conflicting reports that there was a Zach in the car. Some people are saying that there was a Zach who was Zachariah Cummins or Zach Cummins, which I found him. He's not that hard to search for. He's from Mims, Florida as well. He's actually a white male, but he's older. He's like 36, 37 years old. He has a background record. I found mugshots and everything on him. And he looks like he's, dealing with them on that side. And then you have the other one, Latrell, and then you have Jalen. Supposedly, one report says Latrell when he gave people the information, he gave them a fake name of Zach and said he was Zach and said that he was Zachariah Cummins. Some reports are saying that he told Gio he was Zach, but he's really Latrell. I don't know. It's very weird. And then you have the other one, Jalen. Jalen is supposed to be Gio's cousin. And if he is the cousin, and if Latrell is the cousin, and let's say Zach was a friend, because we really don't know. We can only go off what we're finding on the internet. If this is the case still, my point is, why did y'all leave him on the side of the road, man? Why? Do y'all even feel any sort of way right now? You took the knife from him, supposedly. It's three of y'all. And y'all still left him on the side of the road at 1:30 in the morning on I-75, knowing he didn't have, and y'all took his phone or whatever. Well, he didn't have his phone with him. So, and if you did give a fake name, why you give a fake name? If you innocent people don't give fake names. I gave fake names for 15 years because I wasn't innocent, because I was on the run.
Oh, one of my friends tell me, hey, you're on Crime Stoppers and there's an award out for you. He tells me, hey, you're on there for, there's a few things. So I'm like, oh, wow. So hang up the phone. I figure I'll stay in Vegas. So when I went to Vegas, I left my son back in Colorado Springs with his mother. She calls me. He was sick at the time. I felt selfish if I stayed out in Vegas. So I ended up going back out to Colorado. I'm staying with a friend who I thought was a friend of mine. And now, I have these warrants out for me because I'm on Crime Stoppers out there. But so one day I wake up to a knock at the door and there's police everywhere. They're in the backyard. They're in the front. They're everywhere. So who else are they for? They're for me. So I end up going down into a basement, to a crawl hole, hiding from the police. Well, the police, after about maybe 40 minutes to an hour searching that house, they couldn't find me where I was hidden at in this crawl space. And to this day, I think the person I was staying with, told on me. So told on where I was at. Not only that, I can hear whisperings from where I was standing, or I should say hiding. So they came down with the dog. Dog came down and basically, they let the dog attack me. I'm bleeding everywhere, handcuffed me. They come with a picture, that's him, and haul me off to jail. Now, when I go to jail, I'm facing a bunch of charges, not just any auto theft charges, but I'm facing robbery. There's a hostage charge. There's all kind of charges, stuff I've never even heard of before. And the detective is asking me where I've been at during this time period. So, I'm telling him, hey, I've been hiding out in Vegas. No way I've been here. Took a lie detector tests, passed everything. And they dropped all those charges because they found proof that I was, not in Colorado. I was out in Vegas, so they didn't charge me with those. But I got charged with 2 grand theft auto charge, plus my original false information to a pawn shop. I have 3 grand theft auto charges. While I was in jail, I'm sitting in jail, and I was talking to somebody, and they were coming to visit me. I was trying to tell them what to say and what not to say. Well, that person that came to visit me went and told them what to say, not to say. So I got in trouble for that. Added another charge of tampering with a witness onto my charges. So I think I had about 5 or 6 felonies. So I'm looking at it like, yeah, I'm about to get locked up and go to prison.
So why you give a fake name? What's your excuse? Now, I did dig into some of the background of the dad's family. I found the dad too. Now, the dad is Anton Williams. I will show you a report on him. He's in prison right now. He is serving time. He doesn't get out till like 2050 for a robbery. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. And Williams is his last name. There's also family on the Mims side with the last name of Williams. I believe that's how Jalen and Latrell are possibly connected with Williams because one of their parents' last name was Williams as well. Now, the uncle on the dad's side, the uncle of the two cousins, came out and shared a post. He didn't say it, but he shared a post on his social media, pretty much questioning the mom.
So in regards to his dad's side of the family, there is an uncle that he has, and people have called him out to say, you've only made one post. And I shared that post in my last video about Giovanni. Now, he did share a story on his social media account. He shared a post on his story. And what the post said that Giovanni's uncle shared, which is on his dad's side of the family, okay? He shared a comment and it said, the mom went out there and found his back and phone. I'm wondering when was it that she went out there, and can they verify it was him who actually called and where her phone pinged? I find it odd that he came with the mom and stepdad, but when he couldn't reach his mom, he didn't try and call the stepdad's phone. The theory with the cousins is definitely questionable as well, but I feel like something else is up. Now, keep in mind that this comment here, although it wasn't written by Giovanni's uncle, he shared it on his social media story so that everyone can see it.
Pretty much questioning her is what he did. Now, keep in mind, the dad's family didn't look for him. There's another report saying that the father himself didn't want Gio to hang out with them. Why is that? Well, one of the uncles of the cousins, I believe, I found a YouTube video, a music video, and we could check this out. Now, as you see this music video, what do you see? Gang signs. You see pretty much almost looks like they're about that life, right? Now, I don't think any of these people are the cousins in here. I could be wrong. Some of them could be family here. I don't know. But look at this. These are the people who were associated with the dad's side of the family. Now, if y'all really in the video acting hard like this, why did y'all leave him on the side of the road? It was three of y'all. If y'all really about that life, why did you leave him on the side of the road? You couldn't handle Gio by yourselves? You know, if he really was acting a fool, if he really was, y'all could have easily handled him. It was three of y'all. Even if you had to beat him up real quick and throw him in the back seat and take him home and hold him down, whatever you got to do. It's better than the outcome that happened now, right? Way better. I mean, y'all decide for yourselves what's going on with this. What does the picture look like? You know, are you still expecting foul play? Now, they're still doing the autopsy because the autopsy, they're saying, you know, the body's so badly decomposed that they can't identify him to 100% still because of what happened. Now, there are reports saying that, you know, the mom wants everybody to know that the police aren't the ones who found Gio. It was a friend of the family who found Gio in that retention pond off of I-75. Now, the police are saying that they did search that area. I'm not saying they didn't and they're lying. But what could have happened if they did search that area, if he, let's say, drowned in that retention pond, if he did drown, he could have floated, you know, submerged to the bottom. Because what happens is to a human body, when you drown, your lungs fill up with water, you sink to the bottom. And then what happens is all the gases in your body causes your body to expand. So you start expanding and you don't look the same and then you float to the top. And that was pretty much how he was found. So if he did drown, that could be a possibility. But during the autopsy, they could tell easily if he drowned because they would see water in his lungs. They would see water in his body. So they would know, hey, his lungs are filled with water, and so he drowned. The problem is they're not coming out saying anything. Now, they did come out. There was a report that said there was no foul play or anything like that. The mother did come out with a post saying that that is not true, that she is still waiting for the results from the autopsy, that is false. So we don't know if the media is playing damage control. We don't know exactly, what's going on with this at all. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that the cousins and the friend of the cousin, whatever it was, do you think they still had something to do with this? Do you think the FBI should have been involved from day one? Do you think they should get involved now to find the answers, at least for his family, at least so they can see and figure out what happened? Because there's questions. We all have questions. We all want to know what happened that night, right? We all want to know. Do you think he really was smoking marijuana and flipped out? Do you think 20 minutes is enough time, supposedly, for you to smoke and start flipping out within 20 minutes? It's hard to believe, but is it possible? Is it scientifically possible for you to start flipping out 20 minutes from smoking something? And not only that, his body was sitting there for so long that it's possible that if they did lace it, there's any other chemical, it could have been out of his system by then because he's been floating in the water or whatever in a pond for so long. So it could be out of his system. So during the autopsy, they might not even see anything like that. So of course they could say it's no foul play because it could be gone. Do you think anybody's going to be blamed for this? Or do you think it's just going to be a, open and shut case as he went missing, he drowned in a retention pond, and case closed? And that's what they're going to tell the family? It's very sad. Hopefully that doesn't happen that way. We hope. But let's get into his dad right now. On the dad's side of his family, I told you that we're going to look at who his father was because they're not telling us. So I'm going to tell you. Serial armed robber and accomplice pleads guilty. Tampa, Florida. Funny. United States Attorney Maria Chapa Lopez announces that Antoine Williams, 34, of Bradenton. So Antoine lived in Bradenton. Interesting. And that's where they were at visiting family. They were visiting, not in Bradenton, but they were visiting in Inglewood, which is a little south of Bradenton. So has pleaded guilty to 2 counts of brandishing a firearm during a robbery in connection with a series of armed robberies he committed in Manatee County. So he was committing a series of armed robberies down there. Williams faces a minimum mandatory penalty of 32 years and up to life in federal prison. Williams' accomplice, Ackerman, 24, of Palmetto, which is Palmetto is a little bit above Bradenton, it's probably like 20 minutes above, has pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit robbery and aiding and abetting Williams in brandishing a firearm in connection with one of the robberies. Ackerman faces a minimum mandatory penalty of 7 years and up to life in federal prison. According to their plea agreements, Williams and Ackerman robbed 5 businesses in Manatee County in August 2017. These businesses include 4 fast food restaurants and a convenience store. During each robbery, Williams entered the business, pointed a handgun at the employee, customers inside, and forced the employees to give him money and from businesses, registers, and safes. Ackerman acted as Williams' getaway driver for each robbery. Investigators identified Williams as a suspected based on a investigators identified Williams as a suspect based on fingerprint obtained from the 5th robbery. So, sounds like he left his gloves or let an idiot, and that's how his fingerprint got left behind. And from the 5th robbery, they began surveillance of Williams and Ackerman. Within a few hours, as the officers watched, Williams and Ackerman attempted to rob another fast food restaurant, at which point the officers arrested them right there on the spot. So they were watching them, following them around, and waiting for them to do it again. This case was investigated by Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office and the Bradenton Police Department is being prosecuted by Assistant United States Attorney General Taylor G. Stout. This case was brought as part of a Project Safe Neighborhood. Okay, so mandatory penalty of 34 years is what he got. Now remember, all this took place in Manatee County, the same county that Gio was found in, that went missing. Do you think any of this has to do with why the police really weren't maybe out there like they should have been, hand and foot to mouth? Maybe because they knew, like, hey, this is, Antoine's son, and he's probably a troublemaker too. Do you think that's what they could have thought? And they're like, hey, another statistic, another one bites the dust. I grew up watching friends die, friends go to jail. I thought that would never be me, till the day I decided to pawn a TV that my friend gave me. That TV ended up being stolen. One thing led to another. Going in and out of jail, I escaped twice. I started one of the biggest crime rings in the state. 10 years it gave me. My 3-year-old son passed away during this process. I could not take it, so I went on the run for 15 years. Different countries, different names, I did it all. My life has been something you only read about in books, but this is non-fiction. This is me. Well, you guys, remember to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, because I'm going to be keeping you updated left and right about this. And hopefully I can go out to the scene and I can do some filming and pretty much show you guys the whole area. So you're seeing it on here, you know, with pictures and everything, but nobody's down there showing you. So I'm going to try and do that myself. So you guys stay tuned, like, subscribe, Fugitive TV. See you later, and we're out.